art can be explored and be discovered and can be made under the most difficult conditions. Although the idea of reading the city may sound a bit vague, at the same time what I wanted to try was to deploy very specific strategies for the artists, to give to the artists as much information as possible for their research. So that was the second step. The third step, let's say, and perhaps the final step, was how their research can go through various layers of interpretation and materialization of their thoughts and ideas. Given the fact that the duration of the workshop is only 5 days, which for me is not necessarily a bad thing, it's something that it's limited. On the contrary, I think it's something that stimulates the artist very, very much for a very short time, and people can come up with a lot of strong ideas. So the third part of the project, the third step and final step of the project, was how all this information can become clear through the research of the artist and give us a visual reference to their own research. So we were rather looking for visual references and presentations from the artists rather than solid artworks. Overall, my basic thought and strategy was for each artist to create a point A, and by the end of the workshop to make a statement of the point B. So the distance that each artist covered from point A to point B is actually also the materialization of the project, of his or her project. And that would, for me, would give a very clear, would create a very clear view of from where we start and where we end, and the space that we cover in between these 2 points.
What do you use?
I think Pontedera, it's a tough city. That's my first reaction to the city. It's very tough for the people who live there. Not because the life standards are bad. On the contrary, I think people, they have good life standards. But I think it's rather a city that it hasn't managed to create yet a character for its citizens. So the citizens are trying to find a character also within the city. I would say that the identity of the city is more branded by the fact that it has a giant of the Italian manufacture past, which is Piaggio, and that creates that casts a kind of a shadow to the city. The local authorities, they try to create kind of a cultural atmosphere, cultural heritage, cultural interest to the citizens of this city by creating a lot of cultural events or having a city or the center of the city almost transformed into a gallery, an open space gallery, by presenting a lot of sculptors' works, sculptural works, which actually they try to generate sort of artistic discourse. However, my feeling about Pontedera is the feeling of a city that it needs some more time to create an identity that will be more appealing to their citizens themselves. So I felt very close to them because it's something that I share also when I pursue my research. I think the most important element for succeeding in that is to be generous.